Because police officers are often first on the scene of any emergency, the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department recently hosted a federal training program designed to provide critical life-saving aid until paramedics arrive. Offered through the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy, the course includes procedures to control bleeding, open airways, safely transport a patient away from a dangerous scene, and other life-saving techniques.
We have Bristol officers, we've got officers from all Tri-Cities, all the way down to Greenville. We've got officers, an officer from Washington, D.C., and an officer from St. Louis, Missouri here as well. And what it teaches, first off, it gives you a bunch of equipment that the federal government through Homeland Security provides. And so we will get, upon completing this course, which is an instructor course, you'll get a bag and you'll get all of this medical equipment. That's all provided by the federal government for completing this course. It turns out to be about $190 to $200 worth of gear that each officer will receive when they complete this course. And because it's an instructor course, they'll be able to go out to businesses, schools, other departments, and they'll be able to teach other officers and business people or school teachers how to use this gear, and also how to use makeshift gear such as tourniquets, stuffing wounds to stop the bleed, and from adults all the way to small children.
Funded by the federal government and offered at no cost to the city of Bristol, the course includes both classroom instruction and hands-on training through realistic scenarios.
Officers are usually the first on the scene, and of course we have to make the scene safe for our fire rescue. While we are there making the scene safe, we can go ahead and start initial treatment on a patient, stopping bleeding, opening airways, things like that, so that when the paramedics come in, or we've also learned carries, we may have to take someone to the paramedics. This is obviously good for active shooter in case we get to an active shooting. This is also good for accidents. Myself and other instructors, they come from different divisions of the police department. So we have an officer here that is in patrol. He'll be able to take that back to the patrol officers, which would be the first ones to respond. We also have a school resource officer that's going through the instructor's portion. He'll be able to take it to all the schools during their in-services during the summer, and they'll be able to teach the teachers how they can stop the bleed with this equipment, and they can stop bleeding with makeshift equipment. We have learned through this course that you can take a child's backpack and create a tourniquet. For male teachers that wear ties, we've learned how to take a tie off to make a tourniquet. So they could very quickly save a child's life through this training.
Lieutenant Brown said the Bristol Police Department now puts a great focus on year-round training, adding that partnerships with organizations like the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy bring quality programs to Bristol at no additional cost to taxpayers.
So it's arranged through FLETC, through the Federal Law Enforcement Academy. We reached out to them, and they put on a lot of schools, and they travel around, and it saves us from having to send somebody all the way to Glencoe, Georgia, which is at the Georgia-Florida line. They can come to us. We don't have to provide transportation or a hotel room. And really in training, this is kind of putting Bristol on the map. We've got an officer that drove from St. Louis, Missouri to get this training here in Bristol. And he can take it back to St. Louis and he can train his officers.